Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to talk about 4 interesting consulting concepts. Okay, these concepts keep coming up in your interviews, in your conversations, in your networking events, and if you are a general consulting enthusiast, you need to know these 4 topics. And even these concepts might be helpful for you in a broader perspective as well, with respect to any corporate job that you are doing right now. Okay, so with that said, let us jump directly into the conversation. The first concept that I want to introduce to you is MECE, M-E-C-E, which stands for mutually exclusive but collectively exhaustive. Well, this sounds like a super complicated word and hard to understand as well. But if we understand why this word is actually existing, it is very intriguing. Okay, MECE stands very simply for that, hey, if there is any complex topic, how can you help the audience to understand it in the easiest way possible? Let me repeat it. If there is something which is complicated for you to explain, how can you do that so that the other person can understand it in a very easy way? That is where MECE lies. That is where the concept of MECE comes in, and it is really beautiful, right? Mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. Let us take a simple example to understand this particular point. For example, what are the reasons why Maruti Suzuki sales are dropping? This could be a hypothetical situation, but hey, Maruti Suzuki is one of the leading manufacturers of cars in India with more than 40% share, right? Now, if you have to explain why Maruti Suzuki sales might be going down, it won't be easy. There could be hundreds of factors, correct? Now, you can take the support of MECE structured thinking to explain such a complex concept to somebody who is looking for an answer, right? So let us use the whiteboard to understand what and how we can think through in a MECE way. Okay, all right. So we understand that Maruti sales are going down, right? The reasons could be 100 different things, right? It could be, hey, competition is killing it with new launches, or government is coming up with new regulations, or there are too many recalls with respect to what is going on within the Maruti world, or customers are preferring for new things, right? Or there could be 100 different reasons why this could be happening. Now, if you need to explain this to somebody else in a very simple way, you start attacking this entire problem in a MECE way, mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive way. First, what you can do is you will start off with, hey, the reasons for the sales going down could be because of internally what is happening within Maruti, or it could be because of some external events, right? When you say external events, it could be competition launching better cars at cheaper prices, right? That could be one reason. Or the entire market could be moving towards electric vehicles, and Maruti is still yet to make good entrance into this electric vehicle space, right? This could be the reasons for the external scenarios. Now, internally, the quality of the manufacturing itself might be going down, right? That could be one issue. And the second one, they are having supply chain shortages, and they are not even able to cater to the current demands in the market, right? Now, if you think about it, the internal reasons, that is, hey, the quality going down has nothing to do with the competition, correct? Competition is doing something different, and the reasons that are internal are completely different. So the internal reasons and the external reasons are independent of each other. These are called mutually exclusive, right? If you combine all these reasons, quality, supply chain, competition, EV, all these together might give you the answer out there. That is, these are comprehensive in nature. So, to take a step back, if you divide your answer into 2 buckets, internal and external, and within internal, you are speaking and saying that, hey, this could be because of supply chain issue or because of quality issue. External, this is because of increase in competition, or this is because of your electric vehicles revolution, right? So you are trying to group your answer into multiple buckets which are different from one another, and at the same time, if you combine all of them, the answer is complete. Right? This is called as MECE, mutually exclusive groups, but collectively together they form a comprehensive answer. Hope this is clear. Now you go do an example about how you can be MECE with respect to any other problem. I'll give you a problem, try to be MECE about it and write your answer in the comments box. Okay? Should Maruti Suzuki focus more on electric vehicles market? Right? Now you give an answer in a MECE way, and I would love to read these answers in the comments box. Okay. So now moving on into the second topic, that is 80-20. What 80-20 rule means is that, if you spend 20% of the effort on the most important things, you will get 80% of the result. Right? These 20% of the efforts will give you the maximum result that is possible, whereas to get that remaining 20% of the output, you need to really slog your way out. Okay? And in most of the places, you don't even need to get to that remaining 20% of the outcome, because two reasons. Number one, you are only looking for directional answers. Okay? If you are thinking about, why Maruti Suzuki sales are going down, you need to know at a very high level what is causing that particular problem so that you can take a business decision on how to attack it. You don't need to know the complete comprehensive answer about, yes, 5% of the sales are going down because of this reason, 1% of the sales is going because of this reason, so on and so forth. No, if you know that 80% of the sales are going because of this particular reason, you will go and act on it primarily to start off with. Right? So if you get a directional sense through an analysis, that is more than enough. Right? The second thing, you prefer 80-20 over doing a PhD over any topic is because time is of the most important commodity. Right? Time will help you make these decisions, and if you miss that boat, you can't even make these decisions later. So in the entire business world, it is absolutely useful for you to stick to making important timely decisions rather than absolute correct decisions later in the time. Right? So these are some of the reasons why it is important for you to stick to 80-20 rules. Now I would love for you to also speak about, if there are any places where you prefer doing 80-20 analysis over doing complete 100% of the analysis. Now this is something super contradictory to what we learn in schools, right? We learn in schools that you do have to learn every single thing that is there in the textbook to get 100% of the marks. But in the corporate world, it doesn't work like that. You give 80% of your effort and focus on that, getting 80% of that outcomes, you are good to go. Okay. Now the third topic which I want to talk about is the top-down approach. Top-down approach, simply said, is that you focus on whatever is the most important aspect and then slowly drill down into what is the other aspects within each one of them. For example, when we talk about why Maruti Suzuki sales are going down, we started with internal factors and we started with external factors. And within internal, then we went into supply chain issues, or it could be quality issues. Then within external, we talked about EV or competition, right? If we immediately say that, the reasons why Maruti sales are going down is because of bad EV policies or not getting into EV, we are immediately discarding all the other potential reasons, right? So you start off with the first level thinking, that is, is the problem internal or is the problem external? That is top-down thinking. You start off at a very high level of thought process. You don't go immediately into the details. If you go immediately into the details, that is, I want to focus on EV, you are missing on every single other factor, right? So the first thing that you need to think about is the highest order factors, and that is what is the top-down thinking. This is also called as pyramid principle, right? Now, moving on, the other factor which I want to also talk about, which is interesting in the consulting world, is elevator pitch. Now, what is elevator pitch? You might be doing an analysis, you might be working on a project for 2 months, 3 months, right? But imagine all of a sudden you meet the CEO in the lift and the CEO has asked you, hey Pawan, can you give me the progress of the project? Now, the CEO doesn't have more than 30 seconds, right, to learn about the entire project. Now, if you are working on an Excel sheet and if you want to speak every single thing about that Excel sheet, that's not the right way to do. Correct? So you have to follow a top-down approach. You will say that, hey, by the way, we are looking at internal factors and external factors. for understanding why the sales are going down for this company. Now, within internal factors, we have analyzed these two things, and that might not be the right reasons. Within external factors, we are looking at these two things, and probably it has to do a lot with the EV market. Now, our team is still doing analysis, and we'll be presenting this to you in the next 1 week or so. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to jump into any of these. So this, giving this communication element, right, a very high level overview is called as an elevator pitch, because the other person might not have more than 30 seconds to listen to your answer. You cannot focus on what you are doing in an Excel sheet. You have to take a step back and say that, hey, yes, this is in the entirety what we are doing, and this is what will help the overall project. Now, I hope this gives you a good sense about these 4 topics. The first one being, hey, what is 80-20, right? The second one being, what is top-down approach? Then the third one being, hey, what is your MECE? And the fourth one being your elevator pitch. These 4 concepts are not different from one another, right? They are fundamentally related to each other in a lot of ways. But knowing what these concepts mean will help you go into a networking conversation with a lot more confidence, and you can speak about these topics very naturally in your conversations. I hope this will be helpful for you guys. Please do let me know if you want me to cover more such kind of terminologies. Let me know if there is a specific term that you would like me to cover. Thank you so much, guys, and look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye.